Namaste, Jai Bharat. There are many things happening today in the world, many things which not used to be the case in the past. It all, of course, turmoils are always there in different parts of the world, but not so seriously as it happened right from the day of Hamas invading or attempting to invade Israeli civilians. And the rest of the story is in front of us. Then subsequently, the Hezbollah started supporting Hamas. See, Hezbollah is a chain which supports Hamas, another chain, and behind Hezbollah there's Iran. No, it's all connected, interconnected. And then, of course, recently we have, last few days, we hear the story of first the pages exploding. They are very specifically precise attacks on precise targets. It's something like what we used to have in the Air Force, bombing, precision bombing. So these attacks are with very precisely precisioned. The pages were exploding. Then to the next day it's walkie-talkies exploding. Then immediately we find the biometric machines exploding. Now, all these things, there's something in common. And what is in common is that these are very precisely targeted attack. Only the target can be destroyed, or only the target is to be destroyed, because the biometrics of target is there in case of the biometric machines. So when you put the thumb or retina scan, whatever it is, the person is identified by the machine, and then that person has to be destroyed and the machine functions. It doesn't happen to others, or it should not happen to others as per the understanding that what we have. Then the pager or the walkie-talkies. The pagers or the walkie-talkies are used by select people who are in an identified specific category. Only they are affected. Now, this is something like science fiction. We don't know how these things are done. We don't know how these things are functioning. You find a lot of speculations, most of them are unfounded actually, because social media we find a lot of fake informations, lot of speculated informations which may be partially innocent, and lot of simply cooked up information depending upon the fantasy of the person who creates it. And then at times it's also like false information, like the computer viruses we have. When the computer viruses started coming in, we were worried. What we are thinking that why should a person spend so much of time, energy and thought to create viruses? He doesn't get anything from creating viruses in those days especially, but people do it. That's a kind of mindset. They spend time, energy, everything for nothing, except they have some kind of unknown hidden satisfaction, except that I'm able to do something, at least something like that. So we don't know how these things function. It's better not to try, because if you don't understand, if you can't understand, better don't look for explanations when we are unable to understand. Now, this is something like, when the science fiction people used to write amazingly interesting stories, novels, no one ever thought that at least some part of it could become actuality. And this is something like that. Now, I am hearing social media story again. I am hearing lot of speculations from social media which speaks about genetical attack. Genetical means there's a biological attack possible. I don't know what name they give. Many people give different names. Let it remain. I shouldn't want to pick up any name and speak of any name. This biological attacks, not something like a virus in that sense, but maybe it has to be virus or something like that. But it is targeted biological warfare or attack, not really warfare. It's targeted biological attack. What might happen here is that those who are involved in doing this identifies the genes of the target group, decodes some elements of the genes of the target groups, then isolates something which is exclusive to the target group, and then somehow attack only those who have given genetical or genomal, whatever it is, characteristics, and they will only be attacked. For example, suppose two people go and take a cup of tea. One person in the group, among the two, is identified as a target group. They take a cup of tea. One person who is identified takes a tea and something miserable happens to him. Either he collapses or dies or something like that happens to him. And for the other person, nothing happens. Now, this is a targeted kind of warfare. People say it is possible now. It is quite possible now. That's the one hand. Now, as the case stands now, it's directed towards the jihadi terrorist group, and we in the world have no dearth of jihadi terrorist groups. And if you go to the roots of jihadi terrorist groups, most of the terrorists are fundamentally in a way innocent, in the sense that they believe that what they do is right. They were taught to believe, trained to believe, instructed to believe, and really brainwashed to believe in given things. One fundamental thing among the beliefs is that promises of rewards after death. So for them, death is something like an entry point into a very glorious existence. Death simply is a door. So they don't care, or rather they want to die. And for various reasons they really want to die young, so that they will continue to be young, possibly. This must be the logic working behind them. And these people, they are not many, but one is sufficient. So such people who are susceptible to this kind of a theory, can I call it as ideology? I don't know. This kind of a mindset, ideology, this kind of a mindset, they were used, this is very important, they were used by another set of people who are actually comfort loving, power loving, who wants everything in this world, who wants to live in the most comfortable manner, having everything. You look at the terrorist, the Hamas leader, just seconds before his death, what he was doing? He was jumping with beautiful girls around him. Look at that. So they want everything in their life. They wouldn't go for miseries, and they wouldn't go for tears, sweat, hunger. These people who are brainwashed will go after tears, sweat, and hunger. And the target so far which people believe it's Israel who does it, we can't say. We don't know actually, really speaking. Israel doesn't speak anything, but we know very well that Israel has a very, very good reason to do these things, because it's a question of their existence. Simple as that. So within seconds they have blasted that particular person, targeted attack, who was jumping with beautiful girls. If you've seen the last video, minutes or seconds before he was attacked or killed. So the leaders, they comfortably sit behind. The many videos came from the leaders, the terrorist leaders, especially in case of Hamas, because those things become popular. The leaders live very luxurious life, and those people, the cadre, were out there in the dust, fighting, struggling, suffering for a cause they are injected, the cause which is injected into their brains. So if there's this biological thing come up, this is possible, then the terrorist world can be devastated. And those who are associated with the terrorist world, they may also have the same genetical structure, will also be affected. In case of pages, it's only the people who carry pages explode. But in case of a genetical attack, it can amount to ethnic cleansing. And again, another aspect of this phenomenon, who is a group or agency, or is there some people or some agencies who wants to destroy the Islamic world by letting them loose. The theory, the strategy here appears to be, let them do whatever they feel like. Let them involve in whichever thing they want, because ultimately they will get self-destroyed in fighting or something like that, or some other device. That's why the Islamic world is in trouble, in turmoil, unrest. Are there agencies who want to wipe out these people? Are there agencies that makes people fight one another and not live comfortably in peace? And is it possible for a biological kind of attack which shall or can amount to ethnic cleansing? So these are threats in front of us. It's not just threats to the target group, whosoever they are. It's not just a threat to the target groups. It's a common threat to humanity. Whether you are directly involved or not, it will somehow affect our peaceful coexistence with the multiplicity and plurality. Someone has to try in this line of coexistence of the multiple and the plural. We meet again with some other thoughts at some other time. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.